Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, I've got a 26 card PSA reveal for you. I sent this back off in December. This was at the $15 value price point. This was a special that they were doing on modern cards. And so yeah, we're gonna kind of just hop right in. I have no idea what the grades are, so we'll talk about the whole set more as we go to save some time. But first up, we've got a Nolan Arenado card. So this is a second year card from 2014 Topps. And let's see what we got. And came back at 10, guys. All right, I love starting off with the 10. So for this card specifically, I really like this because this is only a Pop 5 card, guys. So this is Nolan Arenado, one of the best third basemen in all of baseball, and his second year Rookie Cup card in this blue variation. This is now a Pop 5 card. And so I don't know what I can get back on this card specifically. I didn't have a dollar amount for a PSA 10 sale, but it's got to be more than $100. And I'm telling you, I paid less than $10 for this card. This whole set, all of these cards here, we're just going to say on average I paid $10 for, which is probably fair, even though a lot of these I spent like $3, $4 on, which I might point out later. But this card, $10 to purchase, $15 for grading fee, $25 all in, and probably at least $100 card. So this is the type of stuff that I am looking at when you're sending in at this value submission, but you guys can easily make money off of this type of stuff. And even if it doesn't come back at 10, which I'll explain later if we hit some of those, you're still going to be breaking even or potentially making money on. So next up, we got an Andrew Benintendi. This card is a short print card, and we got that 10 back. All right, so back to back. Good start, good start. So something interesting about this card is the population of this variation, which is a short print, is actually more than his base card. But this is still going for about $50, $60 in a PSA 10. And he just signed a pretty good contract with the White Sox. So I wanted to snag a Benintendi card. I'm also a Red Sox fan. So there's a little bit more risk in this guy, but I mean, I picked this up for 10 bucks. We're $25 all in, selling it for $60. We're making $30, $35 off it easily. So good start. We got 2 in a row. This is an Albert Pujols Diamond Edition card. So I think this is not the diamond set that I'm going to be talking about more in this as much, but it came back at 9. So this is a 2011 card, guys, and a lot of these cards that you're going to see in this order are older cards. And when I say older, I mean, early to mid 2000s or 2010s. So not like super old or anything, but the population on this, when I sent it in, was like 9. I think the entire pop was a 9. Yep, pop 9, and a PSA 10 is a pop 3. So I picked this up for $10. I submitted it for $15, and you're telling me that I couldn't make $25 back for this when there's only 10 of them graded? I'm sure that I can. A lot of these cards that you're going to see, I'll have actual dollar examples for, but this is kind of a low risk card, and shoot, if this came back in a 10, this probably would be close to a $100 card just because there's only 4 of them out there. But it came back a 9, so we're still probably going to break even and be okay. This is a Trey Turner card. I believe this is a short print second year card, and it came back a 9. Okay, well, not the end of the world. Oh, actually, Topps, I don't know if they mislabeled this. They're saying that this is not the bright yellow back when I believe it is. It's got bright yellow back, but they're just saying that this is the base card. The base card only had like 14 graded, but the short print yellow back only had 2. So I'm not sure. Maybe I'll have to reach out to Topps on this one. I think they might have mislabeled it, or maybe I'm just wrong. But I know I definitely bought it as the short print card. So. It is what it is. If it's a 9, I think I still potentially can make $25 back on it. Base cards in a PSA 10 are going for about $50. So, even if it is a base card and I'm wrong, I bet you I could still get close to 25 back for it. So, next card, we got a Will Smith. So this is a yellow short print. This is actually probably like the most excited that I am for, or the card that I'm most excited for in this order. So, Will Smith, and we got a 10 back. Nice. All right, so this is a short print yellow, and they don't make many of these. I think that these are Walgreens special, and so to pick up one of these guys is pretty tough, and to get it back in a PSA 10 is very hard. So Will Smith, this is, let me see where we at on this. Okay, I can't find it right off the top of my head, but this card for sure, I bet you I'm going for like $120, $130 in a PSA 10. This is very easily going to surpass what I made for it. Yep, here it is. So this is a Pop 18 when I sent it in a PSA 10, and the last known sale that I could find was $135. So we're $25 all in on this card, and we're making $110 I mean, that's just a no-brainer, man. Now, these cards are tough to grade, so you kind of have to know what you're doing on this, and you got to be careful. But at the same time, like, this is a huge, huge win. And like, this card alone is paying for the grading fees of like 6 other cards. So big time pickup here. Very glad to get that in a 10. And yeah, we're gonna keep going. So Andres Gimenez, guys, I've talked about him a lot in some of my recent videos, but this guy put up 7.4 WAR last year. He was 7th or 6th in all of baseball in WAR, so he's a very good player. And this came back in 9. So this is a Topps Finest. This is one of those Finest Flashbacks cards. These are very popular with collectors, and this is a numbered out of 35, as you saw on the back. This came back a PSA 9, obviously, but, you know, if this was like a Wander card, this would be like a, I don't know, $300 card potentially if it was in PSA 10. But, you know, this is probably going to kind of break more even, $25, $30. But Gimenez is one of those guys that's going to be in the MVP type conversation if he can continue to put up 6, 7 WAR seasons. He's kind of like, he doesn't have the counting stats that some of the other players do, but he definitely has a lot of pedigree behind him already. So Kyle Tucker. This is a Heritage Minors card numbered out of 50. I bought this years and years ago. And it came back a 10. All right, so this guy, I'm not really sure where the value is, but I really like Kyle Tucker, guys. I've mentioned that before in previous videos. Kyle Tucker is he's just such a solid, good player, and there's an MVP type guy in this guy. So I would definitely be hanging on to some of his cards just for a little bit longer, see how he does in the start of the season. And you know what? His value could spike at some point or another. But I'm glad to get that back in a 10. And next up, we got Bryce Harper, card number 1 from 2013 Topps. This is another short print card. And I think this is a talking point card for sure. Oh, came back a 9. Okay. This card, though, you got Bryce Harper here. And this is a second-year rookie cup in Emerald variation. And we got it back in a PSA 9, which is a little bit of a bummer. But Bryce Harper, man, like, he's a surefire Hall of Famer. And a PSA Pop 10 was only 46 for this. So only 46 of these in total, and they were going for about $85. So PSA 9, I'm going to go ahead and say probably going for around $30, $35, something in that range. So even in a PSA 9, I'm probably still making money on this. If we go ahead and say that I'm $25 all in through grading fees and purchasing the card, still probably making money in a PSA 9. And so this is the stuff where people will submit sometimes and they don't really know what their values of their cards lie in, the values of grading fees. But if you can get this submitted and graded, even if it comes back a 9, you can potentially still make money on it. So next up, we got Jose Fernandez. I think, yeah, we got all 3 of them in a row. I submitted 3 of these guys. But Jose Fernandez, guys, this is a rookie card in Emerald. The PSA Pop 10 for this was a Pop 5. So, all right, check that out. So Jose Fernandez is still very collectible. Obviously, he passed very tragically, but people still really like him, even due to the fact of the nature of his death. And for this is a Pop 6 now. I mean, this is one of only 6 out there. So I'm not really sure. I don't think there were any recent sales of it, but I bet you I'm probably making close to $100 on this card. Just because there's not any graded out there. And so if anybody wants one, I've got one of the 6 in the world. So pretty cool to get that in a 10. Let's see how the others did. All right, this one's a 9. Even at a 9, guys, again, I picked this up for $10 potentially, and we submitted at $15. I bet you I'm still getting $25, $30 easily from this. So there's no loss involved in some of these cards if you know kind of what you're doing and how you're submitting it. Last, Jose Fernandez, and oh, okay, we got an 8 back. I didn't think any of these were going to be 8s, but that's okay. So we got an 8 back on this Jose Fernandez, but you know what? Even at an 8, there's just so few of them graded. Oh yeah, there's a corner ding here, but not sure if you can see it. But even at an 8, guys, we still potentially could break even just because there's so few cards of these graded, and so you're just not going to find them on eBay very often. So if you can get this back, even in a PSA 9, I mean, you're still potentially going to make money and maybe even break even on an 8. So next up, we got a Clayton Kershaw Diamond. And so let's see what we got. Ooh, another 8. Oh, God, I hope that's not telling. Back-to-back 8s on this, but I don't know how this one got an 8 on it, but yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if you can see that. There's a little bit of like foil peeling here. It's kind of bubbling. That's probably what it was. I didn't see that before, but Anyway, Wrapper Redemption card. This is like a second-year Kershaw card, I believe. Second, third year. This Diamond Edition set, guys, is pretty cool, and the pop on this is very low. So even in an 8, again, you know, we're sitting in the same category as this Jose Fernandez. We potentially still could make money back on this card. So it's kind of a little bit of a bummer that's an 8, but again, the risk is so low on this stuff that it's not the end of the world if you hit an 8, whereas some of these other cards, if you hit an 8, you're very easily losing money. Next up, we got a Juan Soto base card. I pulled this myself 5 years ago, so came back in 9. So I think PSA 9s are going for like $15, so we're probably breaking even on this because I've had this card for so long. But I just want to see how it did, and yeah, this is probably not a card that I would be submitting, honestly, unless you're pretty confident and come back in a 10, which tends to go for about $50. But you know, if you can get it in for $15, not the end of the world, but I kind of more just wanted to see that. Man, I don't like how these piles are going, but all right, we've got a string of these David Ortiz cards. So I think I sent in like 6 of these, and the PSA 10 pop on this was a 12. Yeah, and so PSA 10s were going for like $50 to $100. It kind of varied, but I picked up all of these for like $6, $7. These were actually pretty cheap. So first one, all right, we got a 10 back on it. Sweet. So I think these are very cool cards. Obviously, the 2011 top set has that huge rookie class with Mike Trout. We're looking at Jose Altuve, Chris Sale, Freddie Freeman, Aroldis Chapman. There's just so many big players in it. And so the set builders are going to be looking at this. And if you're picking up Hall of Fame players, David Ortiz, obviously a first ballot Hall of Famer, very collectible. These are cards that people are still going to be looking at. So this is a $50 to $100 card. It kind of ranges in value, but it's nice to get that back in a 10. Next up, we got another 315 and another 10. Awesome 2 for 2. All right. Oh, here's another David Ortiz, but this is the 166. I think I actually like this one a little bit more. But let's see what we got back. We got a 10 on this one. I like this one because it has, this is from the update set, but it has most RBIs by a DH. I kind of like it when they have those little inscriptions on there. And so to get that back in a 10, awesome. All right, there we go. All right, we're getting better here. Another 315 here, David Ortiz. Another 10. Okay, we're 4 for 4 on the Ortizes, guys. And so for this 315 card, the 315 one here, this card was a pop 12 prior to me sending it in. And so I've gotten 3 PSA 10s back already from it. So let's see, here's another 315 and another 10. We're 4 for 4 on these 315s, guys. So we went from a pop 12 to a pop 16, and I've got 4 of them with me right now. So, and all right, here's another one. All right, came back at 9. We had to break it at some point, right? I couldn't get all 6 of them, but yeah, still sick. I'm pretty sure I can still break even or get close to it on this. $25 all in. I mean, I think we're certainly going to be getting that back. So, all right, another 315 and another 9. Okay, so we went for 4 for 6 on these 315s, which, I mean, if you can go 66% on any of your PSA submissions and you know what you're doing pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that. 4 out of 6 of those 315s came back a 10, and we got that other David Ortiz card back in a 10 as well. So here's a Albert Pujols version of the Diamond Edition. So, ooh, I love this card. Oh, this card's so cool. So 2011 Topps Diamond, of course, you know, same thing that I was talking about with that huge rookie class. I love this card because the inscription here, it says first to 30 home runs in each of his first 10 seasons. Albert Pujols, obviously one of the greatest baseball players of all time, first ballot Hall of Famer, 700 home run club. I don't have to go through all this, but this is just a beautiful card. And the population report on this, man, so it was extremely low. Pop 5 when I sent this in. So this is only the 6th one ever graded in a PSA 10. Pop 5, unbelievable. So very excited to get that back. And okay, we've got another Topps Albert Pujols. Oh, nice. Okay, these are sick. So this is the 2011 Top set. We are looking at 2 PSA 10s here, and this is the Cognac version. I actually think this is a shorter print version than this one, but I like the standard Diamond edition a little bit better. But these are just Beautiful cards, guys. And you know, this card specifically, I remember when I submitted it. Let me read here. A PSA 7, when I sent this in, sold for $46 right before I submitted this. A PSA 7. This is a 10, guys. So I think the population on this was a pop 3 and a PSA 10 prior to me submitting it. Now I got pop 4. So I'm not really sure where the value lies in this, but I'm probably going to list it for like $200 and just see kind of how it goes. Somebody might just buy it outright. I mean, like that's so cool. Obviously great cards, and this is the type of stuff that I'm looking at, guys. These are all low value cards, and we're making money on all of this. Like, this is just the stuff that I love looking for, and I hope that it inspires you to kind of look at some of this too. So Mariano Rivera from the same diamond set, guys. Ooh, there's some. Ooh, oh, that's the case. Okay, we got a 10 back. Ooh, that scared me for a second. I don't know if you can see that. You can see the scuffage, but I thought that was on the card, but it was on the case. All right, we got a 10 back. Obviously, one pitcher, one team, 1,000 games played is what it says here. I just love the inscriptions on these 2011 sets, and I just think that these cards are just beautiful. I mean, what's the population on this guy? The Mariano Rivera, pop 15 in a PSA 10 for this Diamond Edition card. And he's just like, he's the greatest closer of all time, man. Like, I think this card's easily going to be $50 to $100, depending on what it is I'm going for. But, I mean, just great. Wow, I'm so excited. All right, so next up, another Andres Gimenez card. This is just like a chrome pink. Yeah, pink. Okay, it came back a 9. The reason I submitted this card specifically, this was a pop 0 in any grade when I sent it in. Pop 0. And like I said before with Gimenez, he was a 7-WAR player last year. And people is a very under the radar type guy, and if he can kind of duplicate that and get his counting stats a little bit bigger, this is one of those guys that's very under the radar, and you could make some money off of. So it's okay that it's in a 9. It's a pop 1. At least it was when I submitted it. So so not unhappy. But all right. Ooh, I love this card. So this is the League Leaders 294 card. I look for these all the time, but this is the Cabrera Chop Beltre card, and it came back at 10. Look at that. I love this card, man. So obviously you have 3 future Hall of Famers, but they're not just Hall of Famers. They are beloved players in their sport. And so you don't see cards like this very often. And so this is the 2013 edition. Beltre is going to be going into the Hall of Fame, I think, next year, year after, something like that. And I think that once that does happen, these cards are going to blow up, man. And so I've picked up a couple of them. The population on this is so low that if you're getting this for $10, which you can find it for $10, PSA 10s are going for around $100. And I mean, this is just such a good buy. I love this card. So glad to get it in 10. And last but not least, guys, thanks for sticking with me this long. We got a Ronald Acuna card. This is one of the foil board cards. I love Acuna cards. And so we finished with a 10. All right, guys. This card's sick. I think any Acuna card is just beautiful. Like, look at the shimmer on this. He just has such cool cards in general. All of his photos are just awesome. He kind of has that Tatis type clout without the Tatis baggage. You know what I'm saying? So this is a great card. I'm not really sure what it's going to sell for. Probably not a ton, maybe like $50, $60, but very cool to have it back in a 10. So, you know what? I was a little worried in the beginning with the 9s, but we definitely turned it around and finished strong. So let's go through the 10s again really quick. We obviously have the Acuna here. We've got the Cabrera Trout Beltre card in a 10. We've got the Mariano Rivera back in a 10. We've got the 2 Pujols cards back in a 10. So that's awesome. We've got all of the David Ortiz cards in a 10. So how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 7 David Ortizes that I submitted came back a 10. We've got the Jose Fernandez in a pop 6. We've got the Kyle Tucker at a 50 in a PSA 10. We've got the Will Smith that's going for like $140 in a 10. We've got the Benintendi short print. And then we've got the Arenado second-year card that only has 6 of them in a PSA 10. So thanks for sticking with me through this. I really appreciate it. I'll have another video coming out shortly, but hope you guys are all having a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.